welcome to the episode number 1 of the series Understanding Australian Education.
I had straight distinctions in India and I nearly failed in my first assessment in Australia. Well, same subject, different efforts, and completely different expectation. And here's why. So before I moved to Australia, I thought university is all about, lectures, notes, and test papers, exams, and go home, and that's all. Well, I was completely wrong. The way Australian university teach, access, and expect you to think is fundamentally different from what we grew up in India. And if nobody tells you this before you arrive, trust me, you are in a big trouble, especially in your first semester. So I will tell you few differences, so stay tuned. So difference number 1, no attendance policy. It sounds nice, but trust me, hang on there. In India, the attendance was survival, right? Like 75%, otherwise you're not about to get into your exams, and that used to be a pain. So many times I remember we had to write the apologies that we did not make 75% attendance so that we can sit in the exam, right? Well, in Australia, nobody actually cares whether you are attending the classes or not. It's up to you. So in Australia, it's more about whether you want to study or not. So it's your responsibility, not lecturer's responsibility. For your information, for international students, 80% attendance is mandatory. They will not point out in the class or like otherwise, but you might have the chance of getting reported to immigration. So be very mindful about missing out your lectures for your work commitments or any other plan. Well, difference number 2 is quite approachable. In India, we used to call lecturers sir, teacher, or ma'am, and we tend to be a little quiet. Well, I was not the one that was quiet in the class yet. Mostly people are, because like these are huge classes, 80 to 90 students sitting in the same class, and it can be a little annoying, right? But in Australia, the classes are just with like 25 students. Professors will introduce themselves by their first name. So students will like me to call like sir and ma'am. And trust me, your opinion in the class does matter. So if you are having any type of questions, you can directly contact them via email. And this is not a trap. This actually works in the system. People are very polite here. They're very nice. And the critical thinking over the memorization. This is the biggest one. In India, the students who memorize the most score higher. While in Australia, if you are reproducing the text that was there in your essay or like in assignments, it's basically a pass. The best that you can get is a pass. What they emphasize, your argumentation, your critical thinking, what did you evaluate? Focusing on like questioning, like what did it happen? Why you came up with this conclusion? Is there any research, case study? How did you come up with? I'll create a separate video on this, but they focus on critical thinking over memorization. And if you produce what teachers have told you in the class, trust me, you're just about to get passed, that's all. The 4th difference is group work is serious. Group assessments are not what you did in the school time, where like one person did the work and you get like, grade for everyone. In Australian universities, group work is assessed very seriously. You may be like peer reviewed by your own team member, and they can say that, okay, this person did not work, so your marks are deducted, and they can formally report as well. The mindset shift is the hardest part of studying abroad, and nobody talks about it. So save this video and tag someone who is coming to Australia, and comment if you find something interesting about Australian study. And in the next episode, we will be talking about how to choose a right university.